Alright, so I made a video and I neglected to do something in that video, so we are gonna have to redo it, and it's just take two. My favorite thing to do. Well, just to get back to what I was originally saying, I pulled the trigger. I went out and I actually got the what do you call it, Rg35xxsp. You've probably all seen a million videos about it if you're into the flip consoles that they're trying to make now. And I have some thoughts on it, and we're going to do a little look at the size comparison between it and the V90. I mean, obviously, I'll just show you right away. And we're going to call this one V90 Plus, or FAT, V90 FAT, because that's precisely what it is. If you're looking for a console that's quick and dirty and fits in your pocket, or very small, easy to fit in your pockets and bags, this is the console to get. But if you want much more power, N64, Dreamcast, and perfect PS1 and some PSP and other consoles, this one of course is the one to get. And there are some things that I thought were actually done better on the V90 than on this one. Particularly the button sizes of the L and R's and buttons at the back, and maybe general size, pocketability. But some, if you're worried about the analog stick, lack of analog sticks, they've actually given this thing a little bit of a workaround for that, which I'll showcase for you again, because I made a video last time. I know I gotta do it all over again. But yeah, one thing I was getting to in the last video was, is this Mario Kart or Super Mario 64? Oh no, I screwed that up. Let me get out of that. Okay. So the V90 is, how do I turn the brightness up? I forgot. Oh, oops. I don't remember. Oh my god. I didn't know what I just pressed. Great. Just trying to turn the brightness up. Where was I? So, one thing that's superior on the V90 than this console, the V90 FAT, is the L and R buttons in the back. It just feels better to hit these buttons at the back on the V90 than it does on the V90 FAT. In my opinion, it's just, there's no comparison. Whatever their intentions were, I don't know if this is more for a kid's hands, I don't know, but these buttons at the back are too small and they're placed awkwardly, so you really have to struggle to figure out a good position to hit. Right now, the tip of my finger is hitting both of these buttons at the same time, so it's just much better when the tip of your finger hits the button and then the inner part of your finger hits the other button, so you can actually kind of just manipulate both easily. These ones are too close, versus the V90 where it feels perfect. You can hit the button and then you can, it's on the edge. You see how it's on the edge like that? You can just kind of hit it with the inner part of your finger. This one's on the edge too, but it just feels awkward to me because it's just, you feel more inclined to hold on to the console and keep it steady, and your fingers are just not going to feel normal trying to hit these buttons, versus here where it just feels, because the buttons are closer together, they much more natural feeling to hit. And I think they were trying to emulate the, I have here the like perfect portable console design such as this, the 3DS, the original 3DS. And it blows my mind that no one's actually like copied the design of the 3DS by now. This thing is perfect. It's got, I don't even need the dual screen thing. I don't need that. But it has every control you could hope for on a console. The L and R buttons feel natural to hit because they made it bigger. They made one button big, one button small. So you hit this with the tip of your finger and you hit this with the inner part of your finger. And it's a better design than this, where it's just the buttons are too close together. If this button was further away so you could manipulate this one with the inner part and this one with the tip, it would be a lot more easier. So Nintendo got it right the first time. I don't know why they couldn't just emulate that design here. I don't know what they were thinking, but that's a bit of a drawback with it. I guess I'll turn it on. I'm out of power apparently. I gotta charge these things. This 3DS is dead, but this other one, let me try this other one, see if it's got power. Okay, so this one has power. What is this thing? Enable loading external firmwares and modules. Enable game patching. What is this? I guess so. Enable game patching. Show GBA boot screen unpatched. I don't remember setting Luma to show me this. Can I start the game and stuff? I don't know. But yeah, this has got the analog stick. It's got the little nub. This one's still in Japanese. Crazy. I haven't changed the firmware on this one yet, but it's hacked, so I can still just patch it to be an English console at some point. I changed this one to English. I thought it was English. I thought I changed all my 3DSs to English. This thing still needs some charge. But anyway, I just wanted to showcase the differences between the two and kind of talk about this one. Do I even like this console? I haven't played it enough yet, but it has more power than the why can't it turn it on? What? Okay, I guess you kind of put it to sleep with the power button. I haven't played it much. Let me see if I can start up a Dreamcast game. But yeah, there is a I actually played Demon's Hand a little bit. So it does have a workaround for the lack of analogs for the N64, maybe for other consoles. Definitely, you're never going to play Ape Escape on this thing. That's like going to be impossible. But if you do need some analog control, the power button, when you click it, does give you analog control on the D-pad. And there's also a little hack to kind of get analog control, like for this, not analog control, but you know how the N64 has the C sticks. There's no C sticks on this, so you kind of get the C stick back. See, got the analog control, and now I can move. So let's start the game up. So you can get the analog, not C stick control by hitting the shoulder button. So you hit that, and these face buttons become C sticks, and then you can manipulate the camera. Now that means, you know, more or less, you have to just pick and choose between being able to jump and have C stick control. But naturally, you're not going to be doing much when you're manipulating the camera. So it works out. So that's for anyone who's wondering, how do you get C stick and how do you get analog? Well, you can toggle the analog on with the power button, and as far as the mapping is concerned, from stock, you press one of the shoulder buttons here, this one in the middle, and you get C-stick control, so you can play Mario 64 pretty good on this thing. And of course, it runs fine. Right now it's like, you know, the graphics are all glitchy because this is just the way the emulator is set up. I haven't done any fiddling with the settings. I'm just trying to test out basic stuff. So you're playing and the camera is just bullcrap. You know, you can't see where you're going 90% of the time in the game. So what you end up having to do is just hold down the shoulder button, and now you can manipulate the camera and move it around. So you can finally see where you're going. Just to show you that it's possible. You don't have to be worried about that. Another thing I wanted to get to before this video ends is what kind of case you can put this thing into. Now, of course, you would buy this similar to the V90 or the Game Boy SP, and you just fold it up and put it in your pocket and forget it. But some people, of course, would like to put it into a case. Well, I own a couple of, I've had them over the years since I, owned a Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy SP. I've been a Game Boy fan my whole life, so I have a few of these. This is a Game Boy Advance case. We'll test out whether this thing can fit into any of these cases. I also went on eBay and I bought the Game Boy Advance SP case to see if it could fit into there. If anyone's wondering, and I found no video on whether it could fit into one of these Game Boy Advance SP. These are called the ASL cases. Can the V90PHAT fit inside of this? Therein lies the question. Yes and no. If you were to put it in the way that you would typically put in a Game Boy Advance SP, will it fit? Let's see. It's going to struggle, and you can eventually get it in. So it fits very tightly, very awkwardly, but it does fit. Now, in a practical sense, when you just live in your life and you want to take it out, put it back really quickly, this isn't going to work, because now it's going to be very tough. It's in there very tight. I'm just going to have a hard time getting that out every single time. V90, of course, pops right in. So if you tend to use this for the V90, not a problem. The only way this thing I found to actually fit in here decently is sideways. You put it in sideways, it fits pretty decently. So if you're intending to get one of these and go buy one of the old school Game Boy Advance cases, it's not a bad choice. But you have to put it in sideways or it's just not going to fit. Clips to your belt, and it gives you a little bit of nostalgia for the old days. And then it fits, Let's see what it's like in the Advance case. This is the, right now I just have my other, the Rg35xxsp in there, or whatever it's called, in there. So I basically use this case for this thing. But I guess you could easily fit this in there too, if you wanted to just put it in there. I don't know exactly what the front pocket is supposed to be for, peripherals, chargers, things like that. But this was designed for the Game Boy Advanced. It's got a little bunch of bungee cords in there a little bit. And yeah, it fits that. So I guess I'm the only person to actually test out whether it fits into this old Game Boy Advance SP case. Yes, it does. You can rest, easy on that if you wanted to go buy one of those and fit it in there. My 3DS is definitely dead. Needs some power. So I'll get working on that. Yeah. So my verdict is that, it's up to you. You want to wait for the miyoo flip and do a comparison on that? I couldn't wait for the miyoo flip. I can't stand the fact that they keep saying, we're going to release it, and then they don't bother to release it. I do indeed want to have a flip console that I can just quickly, throw down some Dreamcast on, or PS1, or, N64, or Saturn, or any of these things. This is a bargain. Like, can't go wrong with this. and they've added some workarounds to allow for some kind of analog control, even though it doesn't have it. So if you can find it, don't hesitate to get it at a decent price. That's it.